Thank you to D-Brand for sending us to CES 2017. If you want to see all their cool skins, click the link down below. We are here at Lian Li checking out a PC-O12. You guys have probably seen my PC-O8 that I used in the original compensator and the newer version of that in compensator 2 and the PC-O6 review I've done and tons of other things we've done with Lian Li, including their boat PC and all that other kind of stuff. But now they have a beautiful new take on how to do a more standard tower, and I'm rather excited. Now this is definitely a prototype for a few reasons, and there isn't a full system in it, but just imagine this. This entire side is for your graphics cards. You can have two, and you probably should have two if you get this thing, because it would look amazing. And they would both mount vertically with ribbon cables coming up over the inside, nicely hidden by this black panel on the top, right behind the tempered glass. So many buzzwords just happened. Both graphics cards would mount vertically right here. The cable management for them actually goes up the ribbing that's just inside the front of the case that will hide all of the cables for your system that need to go up the front. And there's airflow options for them through the front of the case that has this really cool removable bracket that can fit 120 or 140 millimeter fans, because it would be a little awkward to install things up there. So they've given you the option to take that out with thumb screws and then install your fans or your radiator or whatever through the front of the case. Then moving on to the other side of the system, you have your motherboard tray, but it is inverted. It's flipped upside down because they need those PCI Express extensions to be able to reach over top of the motherboard tray to get to those graphics cards. So it's flipped over, which is actually a really cool effect. Again, you can't necessarily see it right now because it's not built up, but it looks awesome. I love inverted motherboard trays. It also features a rubber grommet in the bottom, which can feed like your CPU power or whatever from your power supply. And there is a CPU cutout, although you're going to want to deal with that before installing your graphics cards because the graphics cards will cover it up. For drives, we first have to return to the graphics card side of the case. There's 2 points where you can install 2.5-inch drives, and they have a little bit of a hole where you can feed the cables through if you want to show the drives up in the visible part of the case. Or if you want to hide them in the bottom, you can just flip them over and install it that way. Then we move to the basement. There is 2 removable hard drive cages, which each fit 2 drives. So in total for drives, you have 2 2.5-inch and 4 3.5-inch, which I'm sure you could install 2.5-inch drives in if you please. Moving back from there, you have the power supply area, which has an external tray because you have to feed the power supply in from the back, which is actually kind of an easier way to do it anyways. Jumping to the top of the case, there's this beautiful brushed aluminum panel, which you kind of expect because it's Lian Li, so you're either getting tempered glass or brushed aluminum, which is great. I'm not complaining. It has a really nice looking mesh on it, and if you remove that, there's a 3x120 millimeter fan area, which can definitely be used as a radiator space because there is a large amount of room in the top of this case. Actually, it doesn't look that tall, but you have a lot of playroom for a fairly thick radiator up there. In the very front of the case for the I/O, I don't know. It's very prototypey. I'm not sure what's going to end up being here. It could be this thing, which I saw at their booth, but I'm not entirely sure if it is. Check out D-Brand. They brought us to CES 2017 this year. If you want a thing that looks great, they also have like metal looking finishes, which is pretty fantastic. I don't remember all the different types, but you can check yourself by going to D-Brand's configurator. So go do that and then come back to our channel because we have tons of other CES content. See you later.